Hey YouTube land, Tycondrius here, doing another action figure review, and today we're having a look at Garax, the ultimate evil robot. So, I have already done a review of a Garax ultimate evil robot, and that was from the Defenders of the Earth line, in which they were packaged in this style packaging. So this is the standard Defenders of the Earth line. What this is behind is actually a San Diego, I believe it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It is an exclusive version, and it was a Defenders of the Earth one based on the original toy for Garax, as opposed to the one that was released to the general public. So it was, well, released as in the general release for him. So if I bring in, bear with me a moment, everything is going to probably go crashing to the ground when you hear a whole bunch of things hopping off the ground. This is a box for the original Garax figure that they did. So you can see the artwork in the corner. The artwork on this is literally an image of the old original figure. I'm not sure if it's been photoshopped a bit. I would imagine it would be just to get around copywriting, stuff like that, but this pretty much is how the original figure used to look. And if I flip around the back of the box, it comes with a little brief bio for this thing going, ultimate evil robot programmed by the wicked hand of Ming. Garax is the most villainous robot in the galaxy, evil leader of the ice robot army. He alone has the capacity to alter and adapt strategy in the endless battle of heroes versus villains. I believe that is the exact same write-up as the one from the original box. And then it just has kind of other figures in the wave. So have the other Defenders, and then you have the figures from the King Comics collectible stuff. So you have like comic version Flash, comic version Ming, and the Phantom as well. So it is a really cool figure, and you can see in the front it says includes freeze gun. I will say the card stock on this is super thick. You can just see it there. It's actually a very thick card. My only gripe is that I wish they kind of had made this more collector friendly, in the sense that I just sliced open the bottom of it to take them out, but it would have been collector friendly where you wouldn't have to damage the card packaging, so you could put them back in if you wanted to. That would have been nice. But onto the figure himself. So he does have a bit of slim pickings in the sense of accessories compared to his original counterpart, or his original NECA counterpart. He only has extra set of 2 hands, whereas the original one had 3. The original one had an extra kind of pointing hand, and he actually had 2 closed fist hands. So this one actually has only the one closed fist hand. He actually had, the original one has trigger finger hands for both hands. So the default hands that it comes with are these open palm ones. So he has these kind of grasping hands, which is kind of nice. He's done in a really nicely metallic ice color, which is really, really cool. And he is articulated exactly like the original. Now, the waist on mine is super tight, so I don't want to force it in case it breaks. But there is a waist articulation. I will show it off in the other one. But he does have this upper diaphragm. What's really cool is he has this lenticular sticker, which I believe the original one had. And it's an image of Ming, and if you move it, I'm not sure if it's doing that on screen, but the image kind of slightly moves. What's cool about it is they actually kind of use their version of Ming, as in like it looks somewhat similar to the actual action figure that they released, the head that they show. The way it worked is in the cartoon, I think Ming used to communicate through kind of the chest area, kind of like a Teletubby, but an evil robotic Teletubby. But other than that, he has the same articulation, so arms can rotate all the way around. He has a joint in the shoulder to allow him to move up that much. He has bicep swivel in the biceps. He has a double joint elbow. He has a wrist with an articulating hinge, so depending on which wrist you have in fact, I think they all have the same, just horizontal, sorry, vertical, horizontal, side to side motion wrist instead of up and down. He does have splits. He can kick forward that much, but he is hindered by this sculpting of the trunks part. He does have a double jointed knees, which are very tight because I haven't actually moved them yet on my one. He does have a thigh swivel, which is hidden behind in here. He does have a forward and back on the ankle and rockers. He has toe articulation, and he has peg holes on the bottom of his feet. So he does come with, aside from the hands, he comes with 2 weapon accessories. And these are exactly the same as the, I forgot to mention, head is on a ball joint. So you get some good range of movement. Interestingly enough, he uses the exact same sculpt, bar the head of the original. So when I bring in the original, I'll show you what I mean. So he does come with 2 blasters. These are the exact same blasters that the original Neca version came with, or the original Defender's Neca version, or Neca, whichever way you want to pronounce it. So it does this same thing where it combines into the bigger gun. And in order for him to hold it in his hand, I just pop his peg out here. You need to have the closed fist hand, the actual thing, slightly turn it to the side, because if you look in the inside, there is a slight raised area, so if it will fit better if his wrist is actually turned, and then, or his hand is actually turned, and then you should be able to fit the gun onto his arm, which is quite nice. As you saw earlier, he does have a trigger finger hand for the pistol if you want to have it on his own. The only downside is, as I said, he only comes with the ability to hold it on his right arm, sorry, his left arm, whereas the original actually had an ability to hold it on either arm. You could have him hold it on the right or left. So there is that. There is also a difference in the coloring. I really love the metallic blue they went with for their own version, which I believe is based on the cartoon. So if you have that version of the gun, in fact, it does have the smaller pistol. Come on, stand up. There we go. If you have the smaller pistol, it does the exact same thing where it clips in. Well, it doesn't really clip in that well, but like it does hold in there. And you can give him the metallic version, which does look miles better than the kind of red, which is not too bad. But it does, I do like the metallic because it does match kind of the way the metallic sheen is on the actual body, the Ice Warrior body. And if I bring in his original, I know I keep saying original kind of, there is an original Galoob figure, which I don't have, but I would bring in his Neca counterpart, or his cartoon-based counterpart. You can see the bodies are identical. As I said, the waist on this one does actually rotate. It's just, it is very stuck on this one, and I don't want to, I'm afraid to heat it up just in case it damages the lenticular sticker or the glue that's holding it on. So I might just not heat it up, or if I do heat it, just use a hairdryer and heat it from the back. That might loosen it a bit, but like I can't do the usual thing where I submerge it in hot water, because again, you might damage that sticker. As I said, this guy has the ability to hold the gun on both arms, so if you have that. And the other thing is, if you have this version and you also have the blast effects, you can actually use, make sure I have the right one, the blast effects that came with this version can be used on the Comic-Con version. So that's the blast effect for the larger side of the pistol. It does fit in. As you can see, it does fit onto this, and you can have them blasting. It is a shame they didn't include their own version of the blaster or blast effect for this guy, because he was exclusive. And then if you have the pistol, you can put that onto this one and have them blasting. What you can also do is, if you have the smaller, shorter blast effect, you can put that on the pistol as well. So you do have that option. All in all, it is a really cool figure. I do love the way they did the metallic paint apps. So it has kind of a bluish wash, but it's also kind of a metallic-y white, kind of off-white. It's almost, was it pearlescent is the best way to describe it, I think. I said the head sculpts are completely different. Originally, when I saw this version, I thought it was the same figure, just done in this design, but it is an actual different head sculpt. If I bring it in closer, You can see the head is way more blocky and bigger, and the indent for the mouth is actually different. When I saw it originally, I thought it was the same because it has a very similar facial design, but it is quite a different figure. And there's that lenticular sticker. So I'm not sure if it does any movement on screen, but it does look really, really cool in person. All in all, he is a cool figure. And if you have this version and that version, what's cool is you can actually use this one as your original basic or usual kind of commander Garax, and you can just use this guy as one of the Ice Warriors, even though the figures for the Ice Warriors the designs for the Ice Warrior robots in the cartoon, if I remember correctly, they were really cool. They actually had multiple limbs, and they were like big ice blocks, which were kind of cool. But unfortunately, none of them, not Neca, doesn't seem to have done or have an idea or have plans to do a design for him, for them. But as I said, if you have, move this guy the pistol, and you can give this guy a pistol as well. So all in all, it does the same hands. I said the blue pistol, I really like the look of the kind of metallic blue pistol. It does look really cool with this guy. So if you have the alternate figures weaponry, it does look pretty cool. In fact, even the kind of matte colored one looks good with him, because he is just generally matte colored. It has different paint apps to represent the ice part. You could swap around the weapons and it wouldn't make much difference. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review. It is a really cool figure, and as always, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I do recommend picking this guy up. Unfortunately, he's only now available at secondary market because he was a Comic-Con exclusive, or he wasn't exclusive, so he's a little bit harder to get. I didn't pay too much over the odds for him. I think I might have paid maybe a 10% markup on him. He doesn't seem to be as expensive as some other NECA Comic-Con exclusives at the moment, at the time of this recording. But as the years go on, you know, these things go up in price or vary in price. So depending on what time you're watching this video at, it could be a ludicrous price or it could be a reasonable price. So if you like this figure, I do recommend picking it up. If not, it's no skin off your teeth, because if you have this version, he is pretty much the same figure except with the alternate head. But I do remember that the Galoob figure itself, because it was actually the only Defenders of the Earth figure I actually ever picked up from the original toy line. I no longer have it, but it brings back nostalgia memories for having this figure as a kid, so I had to pick it up. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, please feel free to comment, subscribe, and help me grow my channel. So cheers. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoy your day.